Hey guys, this is Mo and welcome again to episode number 2. We're going to continue where we stopped about digitizing this, at least the local channels for now, and we'll see who is going to subscribe for the digital, but the local channels to be provided here. It's part of the pork deal, I guess. But because the coax infrastructure is old and it's all gone and has been chewed out so many times, and every time it's lightning, they lose TVs and wires in the ground get fried out and the whole row, all the TVs are burned out and blah blah blah. So anyway, we're going to transform the broadcast on a TV through either a Wi-Fi or fiber, which we are planning on doing that. But right now we're just going to do it through the Wi-Fi to start. We're going to see how many people are interested to having it, and then we're going to move it to fiber. This park is most likely like people lives here. It's not, I mean, yeah, they have a section that people in and out, but most of the time people live here in this area. So what we're going to start today, we're going to prepare what we're going to need to achieve what we're trying to do. So as we can see here, we have a good cable coming up from a tower next to the building to provide TV signal, I guess. This is what has been used before, so we're gonna keep this. This is amplified pretty much, and you got 1 to 8. So we're gonna keep this one. This is where the signal coming in, and this is the PoE for the module itself. I might take a picture of it and just buy a few of it. Yeah, that one there. I'll add probably ground. It's missing the ground, and we're going to use that as our, I'll say, I don't know how to call it, but I'll say the core amplifier probably. And then what we're going to do, we're going to take from every, there is 8 out, we're going to take from each one of them to another splitter, 1 to 8. So each one is going to give us 8, 8, 8, and 8. So right here you can achieve 32 channel just by doing these right here, but it is not 32 channels over the air anyway. Alright, so what we need to do now, we have to look at what we got, see what's in here. Well, just let me plug this thing in. I just want to plug it. Hopefully I won't get zipped, but I don't think so. So let's see what's gonna happen. Oh boy. What the heck is that? Hear that noise? That's a DC power going to the analog. Nah. No, I'm not gonna be dealing with this. Alright, so this is what we're gonna do right now. So we're not gonna mess with this as they're gonna come and pick up their stuff. I mean, I believe that's only their stuff. The rest belong to the park. Let me go here. I'm gonna pick up one rack. I like this rack here, but eventually it has so much junk into it. But I really, let me just flip it. That way we can see what's in front of it. So this is what's in front of this one. All of them are direct TV receivers. Each one it's locked up to one channel, and then here in this case they will have audio and video out right here. This is the video, this is 2 audios. They will go back to this analog whatever QAM blah 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 thing. What it does, let's say we'll lock this at channel number 15 or whatever, channel number 120 from this company. And then once we lock it to that channel, we always play that channel. So we get the cables from here, which is the RCA cable, and we plug them to here. And then here is, this one is set to always 2. So what happened here, let me just focus a little bit. So this one is going to take any signal coming in from here, which is this one and this one. This is the video, this is the audio, this is the power, this is the output, RF analog output. So it's going to take the signal and then it's going to put it at channel number 2. So this one will always, any channel coming out from the analog section will be channel number 2. The next one is channel number 3, channel number 4, channel number 5, 6. So you can get all these different channels randomly from the provider, and you lock the receiver at that particular channel. As long as you have an audio video output, here you can set what the channel will be. And then once you get them set, let's say 2, 3, 4, blah 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 blah. I think there's 13 channel here. No, there is 12 actually, because they start with number 2. So there's 12 channel here. What they did after that, each end of the exit, it goes to a combiner, RF combiner. So that one will combine all the channels coming in from different channel selection to one output. That's why it's called a combiner. Yeah, it's hard to move in here. It will combine all these channels coming in to it, and you'll get it out of the output right there, and that goes to another combiner. Or if this is the only channels you're gonna go, that's gonna go to your whatever provider modulator if you have one. It will mix it with whatever channel it has, and if not, it will just go straight to your whatever, your analog box right there. So if we get all these channels and we plug from here to there, and we go to the other end of the park, we should have, and we plug in a TV, we don't scan for channels, we just click number 2, we'll read this one, and the TV. We'll click number 3, read this one. We'll click number 4, we'll get this one. And each channel of these, it's lined up with whatever this receiver is broadcasting. I don't know if that's clear or not, but that's how I understand it. But we're going to get rid of it. We don't need all this. No, we're not doing no analogs in here. You can still use the coax. If your infrastructure is coax, you can still use it. The only issue with the RV park that I notice, it's a lot of ground, and lightnings love the ground. So it looks like lightning or thunders in the sky. As soon as they see a place that has a lot of ground, boom, they're aiming at it. And whatever is grounded to that place, and you can, there you go. You get all the fuses, pops, all the TVs in that line burned out, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, so I'm going to get to this one here. I'm going to pull this one out. Hey, it's kind of tight in here, man. This one, I like it. It has wheels. So it's not, there you go. I'm able to turn it. Let me just, oh, crap. I think it's that. All right, let me see. There you go. See, exactly what we said. So right here, it's the same thing as I showed you in the other park. All right, so what we have here, there is this channel receiver, channel 33, channel 265, 252, 247, 242, blah, blah, blah. Whatever channel it's pushing up, it's going to, well, this one is the blonder tongue. The other one is PDI. It's not the same brand. But anyway, this one is the same thing. But this one is kind of different a little bit. I believe it takes a channel out of one and shoot it through the other one. But these are set, I guess. I'm not familiar with this. I may have to look at the back to understand how they work. Yeah, same thing. Same as I showed you the other one. So they all the same way. And these are combiner. So this is forwarder combiner, I guess, to combine all the signals. Same thing. And this one they put number 4 because they only have 4 in this one here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this one's going to combine only 4 channels. And if we look at the back of it, we can see all the back here. What is it here? Yeah. All of it is empty, but 4 they're not. They've been used. So yeah. Alright. So I'm definitely gonna use this rack. To me, it looks like it's more sturdy than the other one. So first thing first, oh boy, everything wiggles here. Alright, so then they used to have, oh my god, they used to have this lock, I guess. That way, I don't know, man. That's funny. Anyway, I'm old, but not that old. I mean, alright, so this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna remove these two, right? So, I bring a switch. That's what we're gonna use. That's our core. Everything is gonna go through that switch. Now remember, all the broadcast, you don't need gigabits ports. So 100 meg will be alright. Yeah, I could get me a nice fancy switch for $500–600, but this one was laying around. This was my practice switch back those days. So yeah, I can use it. And I have here, I'm gonna have 48 port. That's including the 4 gigabit last one. So actually I will have 44 port Ethernet PoE. Now I need the PoE. See, it's not just changing from analog to digital, whatever IP channels, but it's also making it more efficient and less power and less wires. This is the goal here. Get rid of all these wires. I mean, it's a mess. I don't know how long they spend to do that. But hey, don't make me wrong. They might nicely routed, right? But it's a lot of wires. But we're going to try to avoid all that just by having one switch that will power the HDMI converters, okay? So this switch will power them out. So that way we don't have to worry about having power for HDMIs. The switch is bulky enough, I guess, so much in its PoE that it should be able to provide and ensure that all the equipment is running smooth. We're going to also use that battery backup in there, hopefully. Alright, so this is how the topology is. Alright, let me just real quick go to the other side. Hold on a second. Alright, so this is our main distribution switch here. We have fiber up to this switch right here from another building on the other side. This switch is powering a Cambium, I believe, point-to-point link to another RV park. We're not going to talk about it right now. Just trying to achieve this. So that switch that I just showed you right now is going to be receiving Ethernet from here. We're not talking about internet. We're talking about Ethernet. It means the switch should be able to report to the core routers of any device that is connected to it. It's a managed switch, but we're going to use it as a dummy switch. They're all going to be doing the same thing, just transmitting the streaming IP back to the router, and for the router to handle the rest and forward it back to the IPTV server. Alright, so we're going to have to run an Ethernet wire, which we do have a lot of space. We have to run an Ethernet wire from here all the way to go and come out in that building, penetrate through that wall, and comes out from the other side. Alright, let me go back to the other side. And then what we're going to do, we're going to grab that cable from there, Ethernet cable, run it nice and neat to where we decide we're going to put the rack. And then this is how the switch is going to get powered. So the switch should be connected from the gigabit Ethernet to the other switch, not from these. These are all 100 meg. And literally in IPTV, that's what you need. You don't need more than that, because you're not going to have any stream that goes over maybe 12 meg, 25 meg at maximum. If it's a HD, blah, 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 4K or 8K, but we're not going to go there. Most likely we're going to be at 7 meg, 5 meg, 7 meg, 5 meg per stream. Okay. So, yeah. So that's what we're going to be doing. Putting this switch right here in either this rack or that rack. I'm definitely going to go with that rack. And then get an Ethernet cable that comes from the other room all the way to connect to there. We need to ensure the switch has data flowing through it and then we will proceed to make sure that we have enough PoEs to power all the HDMI converter, which is the capture cards. Now those capture cards, we're going to use at the moment just 10 for the local channel that we can get, just 10, but then we'll keep adding every little bit, okay? So remember, here we're trying to get to the budget. I'm trying here to explain and to show how to do it. Now if you want to go ahead and put 30 of them at the first time, hey, be my guest. If you want to put 50, hey, that is no problem. You can do that. You know, if you want to put, let's say, if you want to put 20 with the TVs and you want to put 10, that each one is connected to a DVD or whatever, a video player, whatever it is, to play certain movies all day long, non-stop, which is a dedicated channels. You can do that. You can add some of them to be for camera views, or if you want to just, I don't know, there is unlimited channels that you can add. A lot of them are available online for free. They're free to use, okay? So what you can do, you can just create a HLS or SRT or whatever protocol you're going to use, push it down the switch, and then the IPv2 server will receive it, and you push it down to your clients. We'll get to that one step at a time. So for now, let's go ahead and get that rack ready, and then we'll go back and mount the switch. Alright? Let me clean up a little bit of the mess in front of you because I know I'm going to trip. Alright, back to this. You know, I want to be more productive, so instead of me start taking these out right now, I'm just going to leave them there at the moment until I get some stuff rolling. Then I'll go back and dismantle all this out. I definitely had to get the approval from the management what they're going to do about it. But if they want to keep it, it's not going to bother me if it's just going to stay here. I mean, it's not working anyway. Oh my god, these things are amazing how they get stuck. You see? Okay, so we're not going to waste 5 minutes in this video fighting with you, bro. Come on. Alright, now you're sitting nice and neat. Beautiful. I like you like that, people. Will I have to use them? I don't know. But these, I'm not using them. No. This, I don't know. I don't know how the deal about it, but no. Now, the project is to digitize any HDMI input for now. Okay, we're not talking about completely switching the whole thing. Because even if you come up to a digitized channels, the local channels are hard to get. That has to do with jurisdictions and zip codes. And usually, if you ask an IPTV provider to provide your local channel for your place, man, what a mess. So, no. The best way is every place you're going to do work, you tell them the local TV, they're available through the antenna. We're not going out of the physical address of the park, so we don't have to have it coming in through the provider. If we have an antenna, we can provide it automatically. Okay. All right. As long as it doesn't leave the WAN and it stays within the LAN and is in the same property, physical property of the address, whatever. We're not trying to set it here. All right. So we get the switch hooked up in here. I mean, it's good enough. And so now, after we get the switch, I'm gonna go and steal that battery back out and put it right here. Used to be one there. You can see the place. But I'm gonna go steal the one from there. Put it here. Plug it in. Make sure the switch roll, and then we'll work in the cable. So let me get that thing in, and then we'll go from there. Alright, I see progress in here, so we push that in there. And here you go, we just put what we need all the way right here. We're not going to use none of that. I'll take it out. It's just so much cables and attachment. They tight as hell. Whoever tied them looks like he was angry at somebody, man. Can't turn none of these. Do you know how many things I gotta have to take out? And here I'll be spending hours and hours just to disconnect all these things here and cut the zip ties. Oh my god, zip ties. No. So I'm getting tired already. It's getting hot in here. So whatever I have done so far by moving the two racks and putting the switch, I think it's a big thing. Yeah, right. Alright, let's move on. Let me get some power into it and then I'll come back. Alright. Actually, I should put the air conditioner. It's gonna make noise, but they have something here to blow some air, I guess. Alright, so we got the switch on. Switch is going on. Battery back up. Luckily, had some juice on it. Alright, so every time I got something to do, something pops up. I get a call for job assessment. So I have to go and look at it. Still have 15 minutes to get this done, at least to the maximum I can, and unfortunately I can't run the wire. That is something I cannot do today, to run the Ethernet cable. It's just a running cable, or should I run fiber? See, that's the thing here. There is so much power interference where that cable is gonna come, so I'm afraid that somehow I'll try to bring it up on top of the ceiling so that way I'm away from this interference. But I can bring it in fiber right there, just a media converter, and boom, done. So I don't have to worry about it. I may do that, and actually I might put a SFP port right there. Alright, and that will be the inlet. That's my network coming into here. Alright, I guess I'm gonna wrap it up for today. Thought I would do a little bit more, but hey, I installed the switch. Come on, man. You're gonna give me credit on that. If not, whatever, say whatever you want. That's okay. It doesn't bother me anyway. I have a very tough skin. Alright, so switch is ready. Dummy switch, no VLANs into it, no nothing. A lot of PoE juice, that's why I choose that one. A lot of PoE juice that I'm gonna need it to power pretty much all the devices. If I do that, if I don't use PoE, I'm gonna end up like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then all these wires, you know, zip tie, blah, blah. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do it. No. We're not gonna do. We're gonna buy the devices, all the equipment we're gonna buy. Most of the equipment, not all of them. Most of them, they're gonna be PoE powered, and this is where they're gonna get their PoE. End of the story. All right, today's video is done. This is episode number 2. Episode number 3, what we're gonna have on it, if God willing, we should be able to run the Ethernet cable to this, do a couple tests, make sure we have the appropriate VLAN, okay, because the switch that I showed you earlier has so many VLANs into it. So we're gonna choose the one that we're gonna use for IPTV only. So that VLAN will exist all over the parks, all over the fiber that we did, all the wireless that we did. That VLAN should be available there for multicast. That way any client put in an Android box, boom, he will have that connection to the IPTV server, the local one that we're gonna install right there in that empty place. And we'll go from there. I'm gonna call it a day. See you in the next one. Alright, after the meeting for today, we're gonna finish it with a G-Pone install. So this thing works fine, perfectly. Yeah, it's the end of the day. So we're just gonna make sure all the lights are white, which is they're not yet. And after that, we'll be going home. It was a day.